Hello, long time no see. I'm going to start with a provocative statement. Donald Trump is not racist. I know it's difficult to believe, I know it's impossible for the Guardian readers and the Huffington Post readers and the people that read Salon and believe, that white people are the problem, we need to get rid of them, and all the Don Lemon fans, both of them. If you say to people Donald Trump isn't actually racist, they will probably attack you. But there's no proof that he is racist. They just say literally in all their papers, racist tweets or racist this, that and the other, or now recently, racist Trump calls, Democrat Black Town rat-infested hellhole or something. Well, surely the racist bit there is in the Black Town bit, if you're actually designating it a black area, that is racist. That's excluding white area in your designation. But never mind that, it's Trump that's the racist for calling out the rubbish Democrat-held area. Just like black Democrats criticise Trump and say he's racist, even though Ben Carson, a black conservative, says he's not. So when a black Democrat criticises Trump or any conservative and calls them racist, all they're doing is calling them a conservative. That's all they're doing. How dare that person? He's a conservative, he's got conservative values, he doesn't like my conservatives, he doesn't like my liberal skin. It just literally is race baiting, because that's all they've got. That's all they've ever had. That's why their platform's dying right now. That's why people like Candace Owens can sweep along and start a whole revolution without even the media wanting to report on it, because they want to frame her as a white supremacist, even though she's black. They want to frame black conservatives as white supremacists. Because you see, if you're opposed to the idea of moral virtue and, stamping out bullying in school, we're going to stop bullying forever, we're going to stop drug use forever, we're going to end racism, we're going to end sexism, end homophobia, end all this, do all these virtuous things, and all the companies are going to jump on board because there's so much money to be made if they do so. If we purport to do that, if we say we're going to do that, we're not actually ever going to achieve it, because that is the fundamental basis of what society is. We never leave the playground. We just, politicians, they get into positions of power and then they start bullying each other across the playground. It's the playground mentality writ large across the world. It doesn't change and it's not going to go away. And all this moral virtue signalling, all this attempt to try and correct the wrongs, and all this idea that, it's 2019, we shouldn't be having wrong things happening to us. We should be all virtuous because we're all wonderful, moral, leftist, liberal, libtard morons. Sorry, I got carried away there. I was talking about Trump. Trump isn't racist. He's never been racist. He's employed more black people, more women, so he's not homophobic, he's not sexist. He actually held up the LGBT flag and said, I support LGBT people. Even I don't support LGBT people, and I'm gay. I really think we've jumped the shark. I really think the LGBT establishment mafia, through their behaviour, through their conduct, has jumped the shark, and now I'm loath to support them. I'm loath to support gay rights, quite frankly. I feel sad when there's someone that gets beaten up on a bus, but I feel also sad the police are spending much more time finding the person that gay hate crime, rail attack or whatever, they spend much more time on that than they do actually looking at someone that's burgled you or someone that's raped you or something, someone that's stolen your equipment. Then they don't care because the case is closed in a few days' time. The police don't give a shit. Me personally, I've got the experience of this. My friend was broken into, my friend's house was broken into, they stole loads of jewellery, and it was recorded by the CCTV of the neighbour, but the police said that they couldn't use it. They couldn't use the footage, even though it was there. My mum had some farm vehicles and they were being siphoned, all the fuel was being siphoned out of them, and they stole it and got away, and the police wouldn't even go after them. We've had issues with the police where we've been burgled. Police have closed the case a few days later. I don't trust the police at all. I don't like them at all. I think we do better without them and have some sort of vigilante squad at this point, because the police do more harm than good. They've already killed a whole generation of white girls in the grooming gang scandals. We've lost a generation of white girls because of that. That is serious. I always have arguments with people in America over this, over the nature of whether the police are good or whether you can trust them. And I think American police are 10,000 times better than British police, because American police are not politically correct. In fact, they're probably the opposite. We've got woke police, and as such, we've got white people being arrested because they're not Muslims. Oh, for the crime of not wearing a hijab or whatever, I don't know. Is there beauty pageants with people in burqas that, turn out to be bearded men as well? I mean, where is the standard? Are you going to go in there and say, well, we want to check to see whether you're a bearded man? No, that's Islamophobic. No, you're violating my human rights. No, that's hate speech. No, I can sue you. I've got the power of the Muslim Council of Great Britain behind me. What have you got, Whitey? What have you got, person that wants to investigate my agency of bearded terrorists in burqas, posing as models? Oh, and I'm sure a lot of people are dying to hear what I think about our illustrious new Prime Minister, Boris, Bullingdon Boris, Boris the spider, Boris the liar, Boris the one who promises the world and delivers a burning building called Grenfell. Promises the world, but then the world must be cut down before the world can be built over it. this is all just an illusion. This is all just a show for the plebs. This is all for the Brexiteers and for the right-wing idiots that go around following the Queen and saying, God save the Queen, and standing up for the fucking national anthem and saying, let's go to war, because there's no such thing as globalists, there's no such thing as evil corporations, there's no such thing as a New World Order, and all the conspirators are all morons. It's these right-wing pricks that I don't get on with, and I find myself in an echo chamber with them all the time, and they don't have a fucking clue about any of the conspiracies. So they're woke as opposed to awake. Even if they claim not to be woke, even if they claim not to like political correctness, if they don't follow the actual facts, they're just as good as useful idiots. Just as useful as the normies. And right now they think that Boris is going to lead us to Brexit and lead Britain to triumph. Of course he is, yeah, that's why he campaigned to keep the Iran deal that Obama set up to give nuclear power to Iran, our enemies purportedly. That's why he also went to America to try and save that deal. That's why he framed Russia and lied about them having evidence that Russia was responsible for the poisoning of the Skripals when they didn't have any evidence. He lied and got away with it. He lied trying to start a war with Russia. That sounds like globalism to me. And some of the quotes that Boris has said about Brexit, he doesn't agree with it. He doesn't want it. And he's not going to give us it. And we don't have a system that we can get it, because we don't choose him. They selected him. They selected Theresa May. We vote in a referendum, and then they select whoever they want to obfuscate it. And that's it. That's democracy. That's the system. They choose whoever they want to not give us what we want. Brilliant.